Alright guys, so today I'm going to be talking about 3 key things you should be thinking about whenever you go out and you're doing your running training, and this is in regards to running technique. This is because the more efficient you are at running, the easier you will run, so you'll be able to run faster while using less energy. Like, you look at all the top level runners and they just look like they do it so easy, and that's because they are so efficient with their running, and it's just their energy systems that they really need to build up. But everyone always needs to work on their technique, even though they look perfect. Okay, so the 3 key things. The very first one is your foot strike, okay? You're thinking of that, you're thinking of your posture, and you are thinking of your cadence, okay? So there's obviously a million different things that we can be thinking of here, but if you concentrate on those 3 things, you will fix up a lot of the other issues as well, all right? So let's dive into them, all right? The first one is your foot placement, okay? So when I talk about foot placement, all right, the first thing I think about is whether I'm heel striking or whether I'm landing on my forefoot. Now, it's not up onto the balls of your feet, onto the toes of your feet. It's just onto the front part of your foot. So the front part of your foot is striking before the heel, okay? So your calf acts as a spring. That's what it's designed as. So that's what you should be using it as when you're running. So when you land on that ball of your foot, it is going to absorb the impact and spring you off when you go to take off, okay? So not only you'll think about landing on the forefoot, but your foot should be striking around about underneath your hip, okay? So thinking about landing on that forefoot actually brings it down in line with your hips, because if you are heel striking, you can't heel strike there when you're running. You just can't do it. It'll look really weird. Okay, the only time you can heel strike is if your foot is way out in front like that. Now, why we don't want to heel strike is look at the position I'm in here. So if I'm running and I'm landing in this position, all of that shock is going straight up my body. Okay, so it's going into all of my joints. So it's not only really unhealthy for your joints to be doing that repetition after repetition after repetition, okay, but it's a braking force. So you're landing like this, that force is coming back up here. Rather than you propelling forward, you're getting that force pushing you back here, so you have to overcome it. Whereas if you land here on your forefoot, okay, you just push backwards and you're just falling forward, okay? You're just keeping up with it, all right? So landing on that forefoot of your foot, underneath your hips, okay? No heel striking out in front here. Okay, so the next thing is your posture. So your posture not only helps you move forward really easily, but it also helps you breathe properly as well, okay? So looking from the side here, if I'm hunched over when I'm running, and I do see it a lot, that diaphragm is all squished up with all your organs and everything, and it can't expand as much as it needs to, and your chest can't expand either. So to be able to breathe properly, you need to have a good posture, all right? Nice neutral spine, chest up nice and high, okay? Helps with the breathing. But also with your posture, if you've got a nice posture and you're slightly leaning forward, okay? You're not breaking at the hips here, so you're not doing like a deadlift position, all right? Because you'll lose power that way as well. You're staying nice and like neutral all through your joints with a nice neutral extended spine, okay? But you're leaning your body forward, all right, in a straight line from the side, okay, on an angle forward. Now, when my forefoot lands, I'm propelling forward with just my body weight, okay? So instead of staying really upright and you sort of have to use all of the energy in your legs, you lean forward and use the energy from your body falling to propel you forward, okay? So that's a big one, posture, all right? So you don't want to be leaning over, you don't want to be crunching, okay? You don't want to be sitting down into it. Nice and tall, okay? Slightly leaning forward from everywhere, okay? Not just at the hips, all right? And you're not just staying upright and running really weird like this as well, okay? And the last thing that fixes up a lot of stuff as well is cadence, okay? Cadence is the steps per minute, okay? That's what it is. So however many steps you take within a minute, all right, that is your cadence, okay? So the golden number that everyone aims for, and it's a really good starting point, okay? Everyone's different and works around it, but as a starting point, 180 steps per minute is a really good thing to aim for, because what happens if you are under, so if you are under that number, okay, you are overstriding. You're probably got your foot coming out in front and you're taking really long on the ground, all right? So you got a long contact time, so it's reducing that amount of steps that you're able to take throughout that minute. So if you fix up that foot placement, posture, and then the cadence, okay, it's going to speed you up, all right? So you're going to have less contact on the ground, and it's going to take less energy to propel forward. Okay, and then there's the people on the other end of the spectrum when they're taking too short of a step, so they're not actually opening up and pushing their feet back, okay? They're just taking these really short steps and not getting really far with those steps. So in that case, your cadence will be really high, like up into the 200s plus. So for you to fix up your cadence, you need to open up out the back more. So you need to step through that little bit more. Okay, so hopefully this explains those three things, really helps out with a lot of issues, and it just breaks it down into something really simple to think of. So remember, foot placement, okay? Ball of your foot underneath your hips, okay? Posture, nice and tall, helps with the breathing, slightly leaning forward from pretty much the heel, okay? So you're not upright like this, you're leaning forward slightly, not at the hips, all right? And then your cadence. I'll say it again. Foot placement, posture, and cadence, all right? Think about those three things. Hopefully it fixes your running up, or at least helps with the efficiency of your running, and you'll see some massive gains from it. All right, guys, remember, train hard, train smart. See you all next time.